Step into a future where the relentless grip of global warming has sculpted a world of profound transformations in its environment, economy, and society. Welcome to our exploration of Neal Stephenson's most recent novel, Termination Shock, set in a tomorrow that feels uncomfortably close to today. Termination Shock stands as one of Neal Stephenson's standalone novels, with no indication at present that it ties into his broader franchises such as Dodo or the timelines including variations of Enoch Root. Published in the year 2021, it maintains Stephenson's tradition of hefty tomes, clocking in at a substantial 708 pages. Prospective readers should be prepared for a significant commitment to dive into its narrative depths. With its setting in a not-too-distant future and Neal Stephenson's trademark focus on rigorous technical details, particularly in this narrative in fields like geoengineering, it comes as no surprise that Termination Shock has earned a Diamond Heart rating on the Sci-Fi Mo scale. Moreover, readers are immersed in the narrative across a multitude of distinct global settings, portrayed through the perspectives of approximately a dozen protagonists and side characters. Many of these characters possess the idiosyncrasies and unique traits characteristic of Stephenson's other works. While Termination Shock introduces several intriguing original concepts and ideas within its plot, it falls somewhat short of reaching the same level as novels like Anthem, The Diamond Age, or Seven Eves. Up to now, Termination Shock has secured a nomination for the Goodreads Choice Award for Best Science Fiction in the year 2021, and it also made the New York Times bestseller list. Furthermore, it obtained a combined rating of 4.0 out of 5 stars based on the typical review aggregators, namely Goodreads, Library Thing, and Amazon. As mentioned at the beginning, the plot of Termination Shock takes place in the not-too-distant future. The greenhouse effect has inexorably resulted in a whirling dervish troposphere of superstorms, rising sea levels, global flooding, merciless heatwaves, and virulent, deadly pandemics. At the helm of a revolutionary concept to combat global warming stands T.R. Schmidt, a visionary billionaire in the realm of restaurant chains and also a PhD. His ambitious and elemental plan holds the promise of reversing the effects of climate change. Yet uncertainty looms. Will Schmidt's proposal prove effective, and at what cost? Set against diverse backdrops spanning from the heartland of Texas to the regal confines of the Dutch royal palace and from the majestic Himalayan peaks to the scorching Chihuahuan desert, Termination Shock weaves together the stories of a disparate group of characters from varied cultures and continents. As they navigate the tangible consequences of global warming, the novel forces us to ponder a crucial question. Could the proposed cure be more deadly than the disease itself? Termination Shock seems to lack the groundbreaking original concepts that Neal Stephenson was able to portray in some of his earlier works. However, this might just be a perception, owing to reality catching up with fiction faster than everyone anticipated. For instance, the novelty and ingenuity once associated with certain aspects of drone technology, like the adaptability of smaller drones for hunting and combat, have now become commonplace. A particular striking example in this shift is evident in their widespread use during the Ukraine war, which started just months after the publication of Termination Shock. The plot is comprised of various interwoven threads that ultimately converge, albeit the conclusion feels slightly disjointed. True to Stephenson's style, the ending remains somewhat open-ended, yet he succeeds in providing a satisfactory resolution, at least to the characters' personal arcs. In comparison to works like Seven Eves, which can feel more like 1.5 novels rather than a single one due to its substantial jump in time, or as another example, Fall or Dodge in Hell, with its near-future storyline and detached neo-mythological subplots in virtual reality, the conclusion offered by Termination Shock in comparison is of a more coherent nature. Moreover, the story unfolds with a subtler escalation of events, diverging from the grand, cataclysmic scale witnessed in Stephenson's previous works, such as Anathem's sudden, society-shattering first contact, or Seven Eves' literal moon-shattering, humanity-ending catastrophe. Instead, it adopts a more grounded and realistic tone, steering away from the drastic apocalyptic global scenarios and opting for gradual, smaller localized disasters, which are still devastating. This approach imbues the narrative with a sense of authenticity, focusing on the intricacies of character development and interpersonal dynamics rather than monumental global upheavals. The narrative encompasses a diverse array of subplots, as mentioned previously, each offering intriguing perspectives without any glaringly weak characters. From the Dutch royal family to a sick Canadian combatant at the Indian-Chinese border, from Texan entrepreneurs to a tech-savvy and traumatized outdoorsman tackling odd jobs, the viewpoints presented are truly varied. Throughout the story, themes of self-discovery regarding cultural heritage and personal history emerge, adding depth to the character's journey. Remarkably, despite these recurring motives, the storytelling itself never feels repetitive in this regard. While every character is adequately developed, there is not one that stands out as exceptionally portrayed and unique, surpassing the reader's expectations. Stephen's handling of characters in Termination Shock may not reach the heights achieved in some of his previous works, but it also avoids the pitfalls of weaker characterizations seen elsewhere in his bibliography. This sentiment reflects a fair overall assessment of the novel. While it may not stand as Stephenson's magnum opus, lacking the breakneck pace of Snow Crash, the ethereal world building of the Diamond Age, or the profound philosophical musings of Anathem, Termination Shock still boasts numerous strengths. It strikes a commendable balance between delving into technical intricacies, fleshing out characters, and offering an engaging exploration of a not-too-distant future grappling with environmental shifts. Importantly, it introduces a geopolitical dimension that, while avoiding a total global conflict, adds depth to the overall narrative. Finally, Stephenson manages to write a story that has a clear beginning, middle, and, most importantly, an end. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching and until next time.